babies. Oh my goodness, you're in the haunted house. It's been a minute, and today we're ripping, you guessed it, put it on screen, Mr. Haunt, some more goddamn native. Let's make it happen. Come back here, Mr. Haunt. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. How we doing? How are you? How was your weekend? What we've been up to? Tell me in the comments. We got a brain-eating bunny. A little chip-a-poo. Chip-a-who? Chip-a-poo. Oh, what are we now? About a week away, give or take? A week and change? A week and a half away from the new zoo being dropped, the base set. Are we getting our hands in some boxes yet? We got some cases. There's definitely some cool cards. Definitely some cards. Definitely some sure, why not cards. But to some degree, that is kind of the norm with any TCG. There are some interesting cards. There's definitely going to be some things worth, having a little fun, having a little rip, a box or two, perhaps, for some funsies. Let me know what card or cards that you're excited to try and pull. Ooh, little fusion aura here. We're still hunting the native Piasa Bird. Now, Mr. Hunt has a native Piasa Bird. We have not pulled a native Piasa Bird, so I would like to pull one. And I feel like, frankly, we are due for one. Very nice. Not a bad start right there. I feel like we are due for one. We've hit 2 Wendy's. We've hit a plethora of other N19s, an Ukatena or 2. I believe we've hit 2 Ukatenas. Our fair share of fusion auras. But not a one Piasa Bird. Piasa Bird. And, what was the other? That electric eel, dude. Oh, let's see, where is he? I just happen to have one of these sitting here. Oh, focus. In the back there, this big old thunder eel, dude. I don't know, he's pretty elusive, somehow. So, I'm not going to keep chasing that particular one, but we want to try and hunt down the Piasa Bird. But yeah, base set coming out real soon. How did we just dupe up? Oh, we got the little combo here. Sure. Base set coming out soon. You can see the whole set on their website, obviously. I enjoy that Rat King is a common. There does seem to be, I've caught on to, there does seem to be like a lot of variation in the arts for the cryptids. Like, you take a Snallygaster and there's like 7 cards with different Snallygaster art on it, right? Same thing with Bigfoot or, you pick another cryptid. So, and it definitely seems like there's not like a set depiction of the cryptid. I'm moving my hands here, It definitely seems like there's not like a set depiction of the cryptid. So I kind of feel like they're quietly employing the concept of like leaving it up to artist interpretation to some degree for like the cryptids. Like some sort of loose outline, but Pokemon and other TCGs, whatever Pikachu looks like, it might be done by a different artist. It might look, in a different style, but Pikachu is going to be Pikachu. It kind of seems like with what New Zoo is doing, there's definitely room for some pretty significant variation. I think the biggest example of that is the Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot is like at least on a half dozen different cards, if not a couple more. And I feel like every single one, he looks completely different. I feel like there's not a single depiction of Bigfoot that is like the same as another one. Each one is completely different to the point where I think the alt art is like a cycloptic Bigfoot. So they haven't really said anything about that, and I haven't heard anyone say anything specifically about that. Obviously people just saying if they like it or not. Chibi Wendigo there. Another Wendy would be crazy. But I feel like they're employing a tactic of similar to how, Bigfoot or, the Boogeyman or Mothman, people's encounters are like always different. Their descriptions of them. One person's going to say they saw, Bigfoot, and it was this big giant, super thick dude and all kinds of hair, no, pale face. And, another person might say, his face was, pale, but, not as hairy or something like that. So I feel like they're kind of employing, allowing different depictions of the cryptids, to kind of mimic that of like people's different descriptions and encounters of it, if that makes any sense at all. So I feel like you're going to keep seeing that, and that might be a little bit more obvious as time goes on. So hopefully that makes sense, but I feel like that's kind of what they're doing. I don't know if that's just me. You can let me know if that's maybe no, Mr. Haunt, that's completely stupid. That's not what's going on. Maybe hey, that's not a bad idea. Or yeah, you're like 2 weeks behind. We've caught on to that. It's not that special. But I feel like I've kind of noticed that might be like what they're purposely doing is allowing the artists to have different depictions of the cryptids to kind of mimic that concept. But we'll see. I do feel, and I could be in the minority, but I do feel like the base set, I feel like they tried to do almost a little too much. I feel like, there's definitely a lot going on in that base set. There's going to be a lot to hunt down. God help you if you're trying to complete the set. We don't know pull rates for things. I don't know if there's going to be a guaranteed alt art in every single box. Obviously, we don't really know what these hidden rares are going to look like. So maybe you are guaranteed at least one alt art in a box, but not a hidden rare. But if you're not guaranteed an alt art in one of those boxes, shit might get interesting because there's a shit ton of alt arts. So if you're not guaranteed one, and people are trying to hunt down the Quetzal or the Mothman, or heaven forbid anything else, you might see some interesting prices for a while. So I think that could be interesting. Everyone's kind of like, just waiting and seeing, but shit could get pretty interesting pretty quick. When it comes to some single prices, I don't know if people are going to do, the stupid habit of some Pokemon people where 2 days after the set is out, I see a Mothman on eBay for $2,000 raw and I'm going to grab it because I want it, now. Yeah, but you could see some interesting things like that. If there's not an alt art in every box, I feel like it might get a little spicy with the singles. And if the singles are getting spicy because of that, that might kind of increase the box prices to some degree. So we'll see. There's a lot of uncertainty with it, but I do think it could get a little interesting and perhaps a little crazy once it's in people's hands. And hopefully we'll see this whole magazine thing. I don't know what this magazine deal is, if that's going to be... It seems like it's supposed to be easy to find, but I feel like I could see that... I don't know. I could see this magazine deal. We are not doing great right now. We are in a hole. Not a fun one. I could see this whole Card Pro magazine deal kind of sort of going south a little bit, where it might not be as easy to find. But I could be wrong. Maybe this Card Pro magazine will wind up being in grocery stores and every Barnes & Noble and be very widespread. So who knows? But that will be interesting. I think I'm definitely a little... they put Uktena in the set. I do feel... So as I was saying, because I'm all over the place when I talk, I was saying they almost did too much with the set. They definitely wanted to get some other cryptids in there. They put the Basilisk. They put, obviously with Pokemon, Ho-Oh and some other Pokemon came from real, quote-unquote, cryptids. So they're able to put Ho-Oh in the set. But I feel like that is a very rare card. That white bison is just as rare as an N19. Don't let any dragons tell you otherwise. Don't pay attention to other videos from, stupid people named Mr. Haunt that, pull two of them back to back right after saying how rare they are. Oh, so rare. So rare. Just, oh. More rare than steak that some people like to eat sometimes. Oh my goodness. Those people that just like have to kill their steak, they make me sick. You steak killers out there that like, your steak needs to be a briquette and just completely dead with not even a little pink. Oh, unbelievable. Get yourself together. And we got a pot of stagnation. We did get an N19, so I suppose I'm not supposed to complain, but we really want to get that Piasa Bird. 6 out of 20 hollows is not the best we have done, but that isn't a shabby collection with the white bison and the chibi. We got the Fusion Aura, the Unearthly Stratum. But I'll talk about it a little bit more in the next video. I feel like they could have shaved some things off from the base set. I think they put a little too many different things in there. Between the Phoenix and the Ho-Oh and that Zix bird and, like you can slow your roll a little bit. Like there's just a little too much going on in there almost. And the Uktena definitely going to leave me a little salty. It's such a gorgeous card. It's such a gorgeous design. How are you going to go and just completely normalize it? Now no one's going to care. It's just a big old snake. All right. Appreciate you guys listening to my rambling. Safe travels. Stay spooky. Smooches. Bye-bye.